Hello, welcome to Blue Harvest History. On this video we're going to be taking a look around Heckmondwike in West Yorkshire. We're going to be taking a look along High Street and the shops down here. We're also going to be looking at the amazing railway history in this town, looking at the two abandoned railway lines, and we're going to be looking at some of my personal history of Heckmondwike. I did actually live here at one point, but there is also a lot of memories here for me and a lot of nostalgia. So I will be telling you a couple of personal stories as we go around, as well as looking at the history of Heckmondwike. So there are numerous pubs that are still standing, which you don't really see in many towns these days. But I never really used to come drinking very much in Heckmondwike. I used to go into Dewsbury mostly. So here we have the old marketplace and the clock tower that still stands. Heckmondwike is in the borough of Kirklees, 9 miles southwest of Leeds. Historically part of the West Riding of Yorkshire, it's close to Cleckheaton and Liversedge, and has an estimated population of 17,066 in March 2021 census. And Heckmondwike forms part of the heavy woolen district. During Saxon times, Heckmondwike was a bailiwick or independent village in the manor of Gummersall, which before 1066 was held by Dustan and Gamal. So walking along the road, I popped into this Heckmondwike auction house, and I was just looking around and I just heard a voice pop up and call my name, and I was just so surprised. And yes, it was somebody that we know from the Morley auction house. She has the this place now, so we're gonna have a quick look around here. I'm gonna follow this auctions as well. There's some nice things in here, so just take a quick look around, and I will put links in the description to this auction place, and I will definitely be visiting more often and hopefully giving them a hand with the toy valuations.
I remember these shops. I don't know how I remember these shops, but I can remember them because the bus stop there. When I used to live in Dewsbury, when I was like just a kid, I must have been before 6. How do I remember that? I'm sure that used to be a toy shop. The toy shop. I remember that old Stead's. That's an old shop, but I'm sure there used to be a toy shop there. There's the bus stop I used to wait at. So look at how good, it's fantastic. Right, so we're going to go down to the station road, obviously where the station used to be. The Spen Valley Greenways. When it's better weather, we'll go down. Maybe go down Spen Valley Greenway. We can have a look, see if we can find it. But this, obviously, very busy, but there's no street signs to tell you. Yes. Here we go. So there's the railway bridge there. There's the railway bridge, yeah. We might go down there, but here we are. There we go. Well, that station lane goes down there, and the bridge is down there, and this is Station Road. That goes down to the station. So we're on Station Road. Well, the station's down here, obviously. So we'll go, but yeah, there's the bridge there. We can look at it. There's 2 bridges, obviously. I think. Is that a building? Oh, it's just the one bridge, isn't it? Right, so Walk Street. So I'm wondering if I'm going to get to the bus depot there now. I'm gonna have a look here. I'm gonna look down here. Cobbled, all cobbled. And metal gate there. So I'm assuming that this was the run up to the, because you've got your track there. And got a little hidey hole now. Look at that, that's pretty cool. Oh, you've got the steps leading up to the station. So you've got your steps leading up to the station. You've got a little pick on mushrooms. Go pick the mushrooms, right. So this must have been the entrance. That might have been, what was that, car park? Many cars about back then. But yeah, we've got like a track here. We've got brickwork. An old brick, a wall there. So, not a lot here. And we've got some sidings there. So let's go up here. Let's go. This is a walk. So this was the track. This has got to be on the track. Oh, back there, look at that. How good's that? So you've got steps leading over this point. But you've got the railway bridge here. Obviously, one going one way, straight towards Spen Valley down there. And we'll do that, like I said, sometime. Look at these just bricks. Fantastic. So that track would have followed down there. What have we got here? What is this? Oh, that's a cycle. So that's towards Dewsbury, that's towards Cleckhean, obviously. Cycle network, we'll put that up. So it's quite ironic that a cycle network, transport network, has come out of the railway network. And look at it. Must be the thing around here that you put bags up instead of having a bin. And we've got this sculpture. This is amazing. Like a mini digger type thing. That's pretty cool. I could use that as a bin. I think somebody has done. Yeah. So that'll be, this track will be going towards Cleckhean. And the other way being going towards Dewsbury. And you can see how high it is because it's a total embankment. And it's turned out to be a nice day today. I'm not going to say it's a shame because I could have got my drone, but never mind. We'll come back one day and we'll do it. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. This will be in the station. Anyway, there we go. Nice bit of history there for you. We're going to go back into Heckmondwike, and I think we just missed the bus, but we can go somewhere else. I'll go back down here. I'm going to go way around there. I'm not going to side. So yeah, sidings look like the buffers and whatever. I don't know, train talk. I'd like to go that way, but I'm not going to. But yeah, interesting. And it's like something like I said, I've lived in Heckmondwike and not even known about it. But that's why I want to find out about everything. Not about everything. Can't know everything. What's that? That's interesting. Oh my god. But even cobbles are still here. Beautiful cobbles. I'm going to try and get a picture, see if we can find out where the station actually was. Yeah, obviously that was the main road, and then the station road come up here. I'll overlay some maps so we can see. But, I wonder if those were old railway yard buildings. We'll find out. Yeah, the bridge is still there.
So here we are at Heckmondwike fire station, or what used to be the fire station, and the baths. This again is on High Street, Heckmondwike. The badge of the Urban District Council is in the gable. The door to the public baths is on the right, but these unfortunately have been demolished. I always loved walking past this building. I always wanted to buy it. Probably turn it into a Ghostbusters house. I don't know. Here we have Superintendent Brooke of the Heckmondwike Fire Brigade, who had just been presented with the Long Service Medal of the National Fire Association. Has an unbroken record of 52 years service, and it was in 1875 that he joined Heckmondwike Fire Brigade, and when the local authority assumed control in 1892, he was appointed Deputy Superintendent, and he was Superintendent since 1912. He claims to be the oldest fireman in England, and having attended over 400 fires. Mr. Brooke recalled that once at the Whiteley's Chemical Works fire over 50 years ago, he got a man out of a tank of boiling oil. In contrast, a great mill fire at Murfield, the cold was so intense that a jet of fire from the hose in his hands froze as it came from the nozzle. Mr. Brooke had several decorations, including one presented to him by Queen Victoria. He was a Vice President of the Yorkshire Fire Brigade Society and the National Fire Brigade Society. The Heckmondwike Fire Brigade had several members of unusual long records of service. In addition to Mr. Brooke, there was an Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Harrison, with 41 actual years service. Mr. Harry Brooke, Mr. Graham Brooke and Mr. R.H. Phillips had all been with the brigade for 13 years or more. The 35-year service medal had been presented to Mr. Harrison and the 10-year medal to 3 others. So here we are at the other railway line in Heckmondwike. This is the most interesting one. In the first map I'm showing is the 1840s to 1890s map. There's no railway here at all. And then later on in the second map, to 1913, we have the track and the station that was here amongst where these houses have been built now. So it's gone from houses to railway, back to houses again. But when you find at the back of this housing estate, you will find a line of bridges and the Spen Valley Greenway. So we're going to walk along here now. I'll name the streets that we go under. Obviously, like the other greenways we've been on, this is a place where people come to ride their bikes or walk their dogs, and this is where the track bed would have been for the Cleckheaton branch of the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway. It was opened in 1847 and it went from Murfield to Lowmore in Bradford. Heckmondwike Central, Cleckheaton Central and Liversedge Central stations all closed on June 14th, 1965. And these are just a few of the closures proposed in the reshaping of British Railways, published by the British Railway Board in 1963, and now almost universally referred to as the Beeching Report. The competition between rival companies and the railway lines can be seen right here in the centre of Heckmondwike. This line we're following down here is Leeds New Line, and it could be part 2 of the Gildersome videos I did, as the Leeds New Line opened in October the 1st, 1900, around 13 miles from Heaton Lodge Junction, east of Huddersfield, to Farnsley Junction, west of Leeds. The stations along the route were closed in the 1950s, long before Dr. Beeching appeared on the scene, but the line itself closed in 3 stages. The first two closures happened in the wake of the report in 1965 and 1966, but the section between Heckmondwike, Spen Goods and Liversedge didn't close until 1986. This part of the line was needed to bring goods backwards and forwards at the Charrington Hargreaves oil terminal at Liversedge. The railway closures continued long after Dr. Beesham resigned as chairman of British Rail and went back to his job at chemicals giant ICI. Because this line was relatively late in arriving, the stations on this route had the word Spen tacked onto them, while those of the earlier route became central stations. Back where Old Station Close joins the road, you can still make out marks on the stoneworks. Together with the old gateway next to the bridge, they are all remains of Heckmondwike Spen railway station. Today there are no railway stations left on this part of the Spen Valley, and anyone wanting to travel by train between Huddersfield and Leeds will have to walk a couple of miles to Batley and to the Transpennine line. So Heckmondwike Spen was a railway station opened by the London and North Western Railway, LNWR, in Heckmondwike, West Yorkshire. The station was one of two in the town. We've seen the other one, which was Heckmondwike Central, and was opened by the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, L&Y. Though the time LNWR station being opened, local people referred to the L&Y station as Heckmondwike Old. Both stations have been closed and the lines that served were closed too, and we've seen that both have been converted into Greenways. Heckmondwike Spen was located on the Leeds New Line, which ran from Farnley and Wortley to Bradley. The station opened to traffic in October 1900 after the London and North Western Railway built the line as an alternative route to the existing line from Mirfield to Leeds through the Morley Tunnel. This had become very busy, and due to geological issues arising from previous mining activity, a new tunnel and four-tracking the existing line was not possible. So the Leeds New Line was opened to reduce pressure on the line. This line passes through 9 bridges on its way through the town. The station was set up in a cut-in and had 2 through platforms, with a bay facing towards the Leeds direction. The bay platform was closed in 1920 at the time the station signal box was removed. The station was opened as Heckmondwike, but in 1924 was renamed Heckmondwike Spen to avoid confusion with the Heckmondwike Central Station on the L&Y line between Lowmoor and Mirfield. Most buildings on the line were constructed of wood, which led to some losses in lineman fires caused by its passing steam trains. In 1915, the goods warehouse at Heckmondwike burnt to the ground and was not replaced, whereas Northrop Station, which burnt to the ground in 1921, was replaced by Northrop Higher in the same year. At the grouping of 1923, the line, along with most other LNWR lines, became part of the London, Midland and Scottish Railway. The LMS appended the name Spen to the station and to the Cleckheaton and Liversedge stations in the same line to avoid confusion with the station named Heckmondwike on the parallel Lowmoor to Mirfield line, the Spen Valley line. The intermediate stations closed to passengers in October 1953, but the route stayed open for long-distance, non-stopping passenger trains and freight until 1960. Thereafter, a small section through Heckmondwike stayed open to serve as oil terminal in Liversedge. This was made possible by a spur built by British Rail in 1966, connecting the line just south of Heckmondwike with the Heckmondwike Central to Thornhill line, which allowed all other sections on the former Leeds New Line to be closed in July 1965. A 1.6 mile section of track heading north-westwards from Heckmondwike Station towards Cleckhean has been converted into the Spen Valley Ringway, a small side path to Spen Valley Greenway which runs from Lowmore to Thornhill on the former Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway between the two stations. Both paths are part of the National Cycle Route 66. The impetus for opening the path was that Yorkshire Water was installing a £90 million sewer beneath the Greenway path through Heckmondwike, so foot and cycle traffic had to be diverted onto the Ringway path until this construction was complete. The Ringway path is tarmacked and opened in 2003. Heckmondwike Station was demolished in 2006 and its site is now a housing estate.
There's stuff you find, stuff you find out about. Bloody amazing. Right. But that is the track in. Let's carry your bags there. That is the track in. And this was the track leading off. I don't know. We're going to go down to the station anyway. Let's see what this sign says. I suppose that's for rubbish, isn't it? Instead of a rubbish bin. So there we go. It's more or less what you saw on the other one. Like Spen Station. New line around Greenways Junction, Mayfield, Lancashire, Yorkshire, so it is connected to Morley in some way. Could have got a bit missing, but yeah, interesting. And there's what it didn't like. I'm fixing it up, making it like it is today. So, what I'm going to do, I'm not going that way. I'm going to go this way back into Heckmondwike. And there's a few places I need to look in Heckmondwike. Yeah, look at that. That building there. That's interesting. Like a pub or something. But the thing is, I lived in Heckmondwike for a few years. Never knew anything about that. I don't yet. If I looked at that sign, I'll tell you when it actually did get done. But we will research this. I hope. I think I'm going back into the centre of Heckmondwike now. But yeah, look at this. There's the old house there. Look, building. There's a trap down there. Look down there. Look at this, look at this. Tell the difference between the old stone and the bricks where they've been bricked up, the windows have been bricked up. I'll find out what that was. Look at this. This was kind of a big building. So I'm not going to go down there. It was on. It looks like it carries on. It carries on down there. But I will find out what that building was. I'm quite interested in that. Somebody's over down there. like a bit of a dumping ground, which is usually there these days. So yeah, let's get back. Looks like it's going to start raining any time soon. Good job I didn't. I was going to bring the drone. I don't think the drone would have been good because there's a lot of trees around here, but sometime when it's better weather I will bring the drone over and we'll go down there. And look, at these are the bridges. These are the bridges over further down. So let's walk down here. It's a bit of an industrial thing going on here. Empty units. I think this is round the back of the centre of Heckmondwike. I think there's a McDonald's around here. Not sure. Well, so we've been. I say it's been a while since I've been in Heckmondwike. I lived here years ago. It's not the kind of place where I actually looked round that much. I was usually going into Dewsbury from Heckmondwike. I worked at Morrison's, so I come into Heckmondwike a bit. When I lived in Dewsbury, Halifax Road, I used to come to the department store here, and I will show you that and I'll tell you what I bought there. I think they used to be the doctors, yes, yeah. I'm sure I've been to the doctors there, yeah. It is, yeah, there we go. I know where I am. Of course I know where I am. Yeah, so that was my doctor's. See, I remember. I'm not that senile just yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around there and we'll go to this department store first. You see it just there. I know it's not a department store anymore, but this is just pure nostalgia for me. Pure nostalgia. So it's not one of the places I came a lot, even though I lived here, but there's a lot of history here for me. I know that you'll enjoy it. It was nice to see the bridges there and the Greenway that they've kind of tried to keep it with. It's kind of too playful, really. It's not like a gateway anywhere. But it's nice that they've done it. It really is. So we've got McDonald's there, we've got Lidl. It's changed a lot. There was nothing, it used to be nothing there. No mills or something like that. I've got Pound Stretcher. This has been built since. This is quite modern. Used to catch the bus over there or over here. Depends where I'm going. Now there's a little bus station. They built a little bus station. Yeah. A lot of eateries. We've got Domino's, which the pizza up there. This little park. Yeah, it's that's not changed whatsoever. I mean, these little bit metal things and the seats might have changed a bit like that. So yeah, this has always been the same. It's not really anything. It's just like what they used to have in town centres, I think. You see War Memorial there, and yeah, it's not like a park or not like that. The main park's down there. It's just nice, isn't it? That it's just we've got something like this still in our towns. Oh, nice little. So this here was the department store. All this building, those two were the department store. Upstairs there was the toy department, and what I got there was speed bike. So yeah, I bought a speeder bike because I came off from all the way to Dewsbury. It cost me £5, and I came twice because didn't have any money. Sorry, I had to go back home to get £5 to come back and get it. I needed it that much. Didn't know anything about it, and I bought it. So yeah, that was nice, and I did buy two. So yeah, it's two stores now that it was the local department store for Heckmondwike.
After the Norman conquest, William confiscated the land and divided it amongst his followers, one of whom, Lillet de Lacy, was made Baron of Pontefract and overlord of vast stretches of land, including the Sven Valley. The poll tax of 1379 records 7 families in Heckmondwike, about 35 people, including one named Thomas of Stubley. Most lived in isolated farmsteads such as Stubley Farm, on high ground overlooking the marshy Spen Valley floor. In 1684 there were around 250 people occupying 50 houses in the town. The town became famous for manufacturing blankets, and by 1811 the blanket hall was built for trade in the town's primary manufacturer. It was replaced by a second hall erected in 1839 on Blanket Hall Street in the town centre. Elizabeth Gaskell's biography of Charlotte Bronte in 1857 describes the inhabitants of Heckmondwike as a chapel-going people, very critical of the sermons, tyrannical to their ministers and violent radicals. The town ceased generating electricity in 1924. The power company buildings survive in part on Bath Road. The remains of the first Blanket Hall were demolished in spring 2008, along with a number of old buildings, including the same former co-op buildings that have been used as the post office and former George Public House. The Heckmondwike footwear company Goliath, or co-op boot company, made football boots for Sir Stanley Matthews. The Brunswick Mill site was redeveloped for housing in the early 2010s. The development is called Brunswick Place.
So yeah, going down to the current supermarket down here. So that was quite interesting. That there was all old stock in that. Oh my god! Right, I think they built this since I left, and it was supposed to be the market, which no, didn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It didn't work in Wakefield. It didn't work here. I'm hoping they don't do the same thing in Dewsbury. That's what I'm worried about. But we're going to go look in Morrison's now, which I used to work in. I used to do nights here. I did days as well for a couple of weeks. They made me work my birthday, and I wanted to get off, and they wouldn't let me. They said they got to finish what we're doing before I go, so I just want to. Yeah. So yeah, we went round the back. It's not changed very much. This has been added on. I'm gonna go in. I used to use the floor machine in here as well. So this is gonna be total nostalgia for me. I used to clean these floors. So yeah, exactly the same. Wow, exactly the same. So the toy section used to be down here. Obviously not anymore. For some it's over here. Yeah, this is where you can hear the music. This is where I bought my real Ghostbusters. I got Venkman first here, this exact spot. So yeah, we're going to go look at the toys anyway, but yeah, it's just a bit of a nostalgia. And yeah, wow. These used to be that used to be the condiment, always been the condiment. This has all been redone, obviously. All the clothes, both of the corner to here. To put in line with all the Morrisons, they're all exactly the same, aren't they? Maybe one day when the Morrisons does shut down, we'll look back on these videos and do the reminiscence. Reminiscence, is that word? But yeah, it's very nice, and I'm looking for the toys. We did find the Millennium Falcon on there. The Hunslow one, didn't we? So here we go. More or less got the same stuff, I do believe. Might be Magic Cat. Oh. Is that it? Is that it? We've got pet food down there, toys here. Got some more toys here, that's fine.
This one?
We've got some more here. We've got the Falcon's here. Same. Hot Wheels, somebody's looking at the Hot Wheels. Any treasure hunts?
Sorry.
Is there any treasure hunts?
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, before I start looking, I found one at the other Morrison's.
What, you found treasure hunts?
Yeah.
I haven't found a single one yet.
Have you not?
No. What am I supposed to be looking for treasure hunts?
Well, what I look for, stuff. Don't remember the freezers being. The freezers were further up, so I used to do the freezers. But I used to enjoy coming down here doing the claw machine because we used to come around this corner here. The bakery used to be on the corner, and there used to be the fittest girl that worked there. I went out on a date with her. Yeah, she's pretty boring, but yeah, just that bit there. Come around here. Look at the size of the bakery now. See there? Nice little reminiscence there. I've got some Doritos, I don't need to get any. So yeah, I'm going to go, I found this, look at this. The Chase TIE Fighter. I don't have a TIE Fighter, so I'm quite happy that I've got the Chase one. I'm not opening that, that's staying in the packet. So there's no review on that. I will talk about it, but there's no review. Jesus, right, I'm going to go pay for this, and we'll carry on. Today turned out nice. I don't have to wait for a bus. I might go into Dewsbury, I don't know. So until next time, thank you for watching, and look out for some history.